Welcome everybody to another webinar with the Small Business Center, where we do regular webinars to help our members who are entrepreneurs with starting a company, running a company, and growing a company. Today our webinar is on time management with our guest presenter, Murray Grigorian, who's going to tell us how to manage our time better so that we can be more productive and hopefully more profitable. Murray, I will let you introduce yourself, so please go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Hello. I'm very excited to be presenting time management. And congratulations, just the fact that you showed interest in this subject and that you manage your time to be on this webinar shows me that you are one step ahead of the others. To reiterate what Rayhan said, if you have any questions, please type in your right side panel when it says chat and says type your message here, so that we can actually answer your questions. And to keep this webinar effective and efficient, I would like to put away everything that beeps or tweets or rings or anything that could disturb you away, so you can be present with this presentation, so you can get 100% of it. And what we'll do is that this presentation is going to be 45 minutes, but after every subject that we're talking about, I will be asking questions. It's going to be very interactive. And after I ask my questions, you answer me, then you have an opportunity to ask your questions. And then at the end, again, we will have some time left for you to ask any questions that you didn't ask. So here I am. I'm a certified life and success coach. I've been in business for 25 years. I have a master's degree in computer science. I'm married with 2 children, and now I have a grandchild. I'm very passionate about producing results, and I do really believe that small, medium businesses are the ones that are going to pull us out of recession, because they will create jobs and will save jobs. So that's my stand, to save jobs and create opportunities by helping people like you to do better. And I'm not going to talk about me anymore. If you wanted to know who I am, just go to emgeecoaching.com. You'll know me better. So why time management? Why I chose to talk about time management? It was my daughter's graduation that started that. Years ago, I was working for a bank, and I did not know any time management. The bank was letting people go, and everybody was nervous about losing their jobs. I had a big project, and the deadline was coming up. My daughter was graduating in New York, and I had to stay behind and work the weekend to make sure that I would complete my deliverable and save my job. You know, this incident just really haunted me for some time. I became obsessed with time management and then started going to workshops and seminars and read any book I could, an article about time management. So what I'm about to share with you is the synopsis of what I have learned and what I've tested and experienced and made it work for me. I no longer run around in haste and worry. So these are going to be concepts that we'll be talking to. Each one of the concepts are actually a webinar by itself, that if I had enough people interested, I would elaborate on that. So here's a question for you. Have you missed an opportunity because you did not have time, or because you didn't manage your time fairly?
So if you want to type in your answers in the chat box, I will let Murray know what the answers are coming through. If you want to just say a yes or no, that actually would be sufficient as well. You don't have to give more details unless you want to. Yes, okay, so there are a couple of yeses that are coming in through, Murray.
Okay. Yes, we always do that. If we won't manage our time, we will lose opportunities. That's why time management is very, very important. The next thing was that my mother told me that I always thought that 1 hour has 120 seconds and that 1 minute had 180 seconds. I was always in a hurry. I was trying to juggle more things and do different things at the same time, and I would end up frustrated and exhausted. What about you? Have you missed an opportunity because you didn't juggle well? I'm sure the answers are a couple of yeses there.
Yes, there are.
Because everybody is juggling, we're trying. And there's, even in management, there's, people should learn how to juggle. Yes. Well, the question really is that, can you really manage your time? And the answer is no, you can't. Okay, don't leave the webinar. You can't manage time because time is always the same. 1 minute is always 60 seconds, and 1 hour is always 60 minutes, and a day is 24 hours. You're not managing time. What you really manage is your thoughts. It's your desires and your choices and the actions you take, but not really the time. So when we're talking about managing time, we are talking about managing our thoughts, our desires and choices, actions in a given time. The key to time management is to build your life around your individual needs and desires. So you have to carve out your individual way of managing your own time. Time management is the ultimate self-improvement because it's the foundation for you to be able to achieve your goals in every aspect of your life, not just business, but your life with your family and your personal life. A lot of people are frustrated with the way they're managing their time, but each person's specific issue is different. Now, buried under this chaos of confusion, there are clues of individual strengths and weaknesses, personality styles and preferences, and unique sources of energy and what makes you happy. So the most important element in time management is to recognize your own specific, unique relationship with time and the choices you're making. Once you identify how you relate your actions with the time, then you will be able to improve your time management skills. So these areas that your time management depends on are, one, what is working for you and what is not working for you. You need to identify that. What your preferences are and what your energy cycles and resources are. So let's look at what's working for you. The way we will do this to make it interactive is that I will ask you questions and then I will give you some examples of if I was doing this exercise, what would be my answers. And I would like you to jot down the answers that come to your mind because this is going to help you to identify what works for you in respect to time management. So here we go. No matter how busy I get, I always find time to. You jot down what you always find time to. For me, would be something like clean out my fridge, see new clients, get invoices out. My goals are well defined when it comes to creating new projects, travels, or whatever yours is. And if you don't have goals that are well defined, that's the first step for your time management improvement. I'm pretty clear on how long it takes me to create a presentation or prepare for a coaching session. Are you clear about the tasks that you're doing and how long each task takes? And if you're not, you start watching them. I have no problem tackling different projects when it comes to having projects that I have taken the time to plan. How about you? What is it that makes tackling different projects easy for you? Just jot it down. I have no problem exercising when I first wake up or when I'm on holiday or when I'm watching TV. How about you? I'm never late for my client appointments or dinner dates. What about you? How about movies? How about doctors? How about starting what you said you'll start on a given time that you said you will start? I never procrastinate about paying my mortgage and feeding my baby. What are the things that you never procrastinate? We all procrastinate, and that's a human thing. But what are the things that you never procrastinate? That's so important to know. So the next thing will be, I always build in transition time between my appointments. I live in Los Angeles, so I never know how the traffic is going to be. So I have to build time so that I'm never late to see my clients. What are you building transition times for? It is easy for me to say no to requests for volunteering. Well, no, say no to my mother-in-law, or say no to unreasonable demands. What is easy for you to say no? Jot it down. Meeting deadlines is easiest for me when I have taken the time and I've planned for it. And so I can deliver whatever my deliverables are on the time, on deadlines. Well, I'm happy when I'm surfing, gardening, dancing. This is very important for you to know what activities makes you happy, because we're going to use those activities for later. The things that I delegate easily are, and the keyword is easily, because delegation for some people is not easy at all. So think about the things that you can delegate easily. For me, it's social media activity and the laundry and sending out invoices maybe. So that is another one that is so important for us to know what are the things that we can easily delegate. And if you're not delegating anything, I would invite you to look at reasons why not. So here's a question for you. Do you know what's working for you and why these things are working?
So one of the things I'm going to start off with, Marie, is the thing that you mentioned is, do I know how long it takes me to do an activity? So some of the things, yes, it does, but others do not. So what do you suggest I should do with regards to those things?
Well, Rehan, experience is important. Guesstimate. When you're doing some things that you don't know how much it takes, look at your experience of the similar tasks that you have done before and how much it would take.
Okay.
And I would add a little bit, like 10% to it.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And the other thing that I always have a problem is building those transitions that you talked about. I think I always think that I can move quickly from a project to a different project, but I think you do need some, even if you're not in a commute and stuck in a traffic, I think even if you're on your desk, it's taking some downtime between projects is important.
Yeah, we're not electricity. We don't move from one thing to the other. We need downtime. We need to get up and walk a little bit from our desk.
Yes.
And it's nice to end whatever we're doing with getting up and, just moving a little bit and then starting again. Because those times that the downtimes or you have, or I call it reserve times for me, are the times that you recuperate or you center yourself to go on to the next task.
Absolutely.
So let me continue then, because I want to take 2 or 3 questions every time so everybody can work up. Okay, so now we know what's working. Let's look at what is not working. Look, the ones that you wrote down that was working for you, look at them and say why. Why is this thing's working? Is it because you enjoy doing that? Or is it because you're very skilled about it and you don't have to think about it? Or is it the time of day that you're doing those tasks, that's why it's working for you? Look, if you find time to clean your car, ask yourself how come you didn't find time to do that paperwork that you were supposed to do. And these questions brings your awareness into what's working for you and how you are behaving, what your choices are. So let's look at what's not working. Again, we're going to do the same way. So I never have enough time. For me, is to see my friends or relax, and maybe sometimes following up. What's for you? What is it that you never have enough time to do? I spend too much time on attending meetings or processing mail. How about you? Do you spend too much time on texting or maybe some games that you have on your station? One thing I wish could do every day is read, meditate, exercise, visit friends. What about you? This is so important that you know what are the things that you really wish you could do every day that you're not doing. I always underestimate how long it takes to drive from one meeting to another. This is for you, Rayan, or complete the work. I don't have well-defined goals for my personal life. And you know what? That is so important. We always think that defining goals are for business or projects. Your personal life is important too. You have to align your life, well, actually your business to your life, your career to your life. If not, it's not going to work out. So there is another one. I procrastinate whenever I have to. For me, is to start writing an article. Somehow that sitting down and writing that article is not a pleasant task for me. I always say I'll do it tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes. How about you? What do you procrastinate for? I'm usually late for birthday parties. Well, you know, they can have party without me. How about you? When are you usually late for? Is it work? Is it a client appointment? What is it? It's hard for me to say no to people who are asking me to help them with their business strategies. And you know what happens? There's a day that I would have been talking to these people who needs help and giving them free advices, and that day I didn't make money. So what is hard for you to say no to? We all have to make sure that we are able to say no. I have a hard time finishing books that I'm reading. The last chapter, it's a chore for me. How about you? What you have hard time to finish? So here's a question for you, and you can say yes or no. It's actually a double question. It says, do you have well-defined and documented goals? It is important that you write down your goals. So let me hear what you have.
If you want to give Murray some ideas, you can type in the chat box. And I hope you can hear the construction work that's going on in my area. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything coming in, Murray. If you want to move forward, that's fine.
Okay, here's another question. It's yes or no. Do you know what's not working for you and why these things are not working for you? Look, this is important for you to see it because your answers to this particular question will create a list for you that you want to fix, you want to bring your attention to. Can you see a pattern forming? If you're having trouble starting and finishing things, then you may be able to isolate the reason why because you'll see a pattern. In some cases, it might just mean that you need to develop a certain skill or apply a skill from one area of your life to the other. Like for me, at work, I can delegate. At home, I can't. And what's the reason? We have to look at that.
So there's a comment from Nikki. She's saying she's awful at realistically estimating time to achieve something. She is hopelessly optimistic.
Hi, Nikki. Nice to meet you. I am same. So yes, the way to overcome that, and it's a hard thing to do. You're going to hate me for that. It's this. In a week, have a little piece of paper and or record somewhere, whatever you're doing, just time it. Just time it and say, this thing I did took me this many minutes or this many seconds or whatever. I mean, seconds, no, minutes. And at the end of the week, you can go back, and I have done this, Ricky, because I was just like you. I thought I was a superhuman and can do things so fast. So when I did this and I looked at it, then it just gave me a roadmap on how to make decisions of how much every task will take. Because we don't do new things all the time. We repeat whatever we're doing. So just doing this for 1 week, be aware and write that down. You know, it's like when somebody wants to lose weight, the nutritionist says, just write down what you're eating and then look at it. Just write down the tasks you're doing and how long it takes, and that will give you, it will be a guidance for you.
There's one more comment from Chris. Actually, this is a good one. Chris is saying, I can see what is not working, but not why it's not working.
Hey, Chris, if you have created a list for that, look at it and see if it is because you lack some skills about it. Is it because you attempt to do their tasks in a certain time of the day? Is it because you absolutely hate doing them? Or is it because you think that those tasks that you're doing, it's not going to add to your life? And you may find that some tasks don't. And if you write all of these answers to all the questions and look at why, you may see some pattern too that's coming up.
Good.
Okay, moving on. What are your preferences? These are very important things because sometimes one struggles with some tasks more than others, not because you lack skill, but because your individual preferences. Now, tuning into these natural inclinations can help explain why certain items are landing on your what's not working or what is working list. Chris, you get that? So let's do some exercises to identify your preferences for yourself. And this is very different for everybody. So here's the question you keep asking you. The majority of time, I prefer working independently or collaboratively. And then if you prefer working independently, most probably all the tasks that requires collaboration will be ending up on the list that says not working. So then when you know why it is, then you can do something about it. How about exercising alone or exercising with others? Relaxing alone or relaxing with others. You know, these things could change as time passes. A couple of years back when I had a little kid, I could not relax alone. I had to have others around so they would watch my kid. Now he's grown up and I love relaxing by myself. Concentrating my thoughts and my minds in short bursts of the time, or I like to take my time thinking about things and dreaming about them and looking at all aspects of that thought. That's your preference. Which one is it? How about focusing on one thing at the time or multitasking? Now, if these are, light bulbs are coming up in your head and you know now what are your preferences, then looking at the task, oh, that's why it didn't work because I don't like focusing on one time. I want to do multitasking. So when you're planning, you'll plan it so you do multitasking. How about scheduling? When you schedule your time, do you like to have fast and busy schedule running all the time and then stopping? Or you like it to have it slow and easy schedule? This is so important. This will help you to schedule your time and your activities in that time in a way that you prefer and that you can actually implement. More on majority of time what you prefer. Do you like to be predictable? You have to plan and be predictable, or you want to surprise yourself all the time and you want to be unstructured, or whichever your preference is, that's exactly how you're managing your time. How about deadlines that are coming up? Do you want deadlines to be in short span of time so you feel that you've achieved something like maybe monthly deadlines, or you want to have it long stretch of time. Now, if you like the short deadlines and then you have a deadline that's 6 months away, well, why don't you look at the 6 months and say, this is where I have to be in 6 months. Where do I have to be in 5 months or 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 day. And then keep that milestone for you. Have those be a deadline for you. Do you like to think taking your time, or you'd like to make quick decisions? Now, if you have to take time to think, you have to put that in your calendar so that you will not be rushed. How about your work environment? Do you want to be silent when you're working, or you like noisy environment, or you want music? Now, if you like music and you're working in an environment that is very silent, that's what's stopping you to do your work well, or you're not managing your time. Get one of the headphones and listen to your music while you're working if you can. Do you like your work environment to be dim light, or you want it bright light? And if it's different, so do something so you can also create a situation for yourself so you match your personal preferences. Well, here's another question for you. Do you know what your preferences are?
Right. If there are any questions or comments on that, please let me know by typing in the chat box. Well, yeah, a couple of yeses are coming in that they do know what their preferences are.
Good. Wonderful. Any questions, guys, on the preferences?
No, there aren't. Oh, wait, hang on. After answering these questions, then what is the exercise to make changes is what Charlie asked.
Yes,
so
it depends on, yeah. Give me an example so then I can help you.
Is there an example, Charlie, that you can come up with on that particular question? Or anybody else? No, there is not necessarily. I guess it's a general question, just in general,
Okay.
How do you
Charlie,
make a change?
Yeah, I have not put any exercises in this presentation to address each one of the preferences, but at the end of this, I'm going to give you my email, and as you become aware of the preferences and what you want to change, you can also send me an email, and I will send you the answer that I can come up. In addition to your natural preferences, ups and downs of your energy can have profound effect on your to-do list. Energy is power. We all know that. It enables us to work towards our goals. And then once we understand our energy sources in cycles, then we can begin to manage those energy cycles better. So this is how we can do this. It's very simple. Let's look at our mornings. Mornings are best time for me to do what? For me, it's to plan my day. And what are the things that you love to do in the mornings? And what's the worst time to do things that in the morning that you don't like to do? For me, it's exercise. Everybody says exercise in the morning is great. But for me, mornings are the worst time for me to do exercise. So I've got to know that. I don't have the energy to exercise. How about afternoons? Answer the question. Afternoons are the best time for me mine is to meet my prospects. And worst time for me is to start planning. How about you? Afternoons are best time for you to do what? And worst time for you to do what? How about evenings? Evenings are best time for me to work on my social media marketing. And of course, it's the worst time for me to read or learn a new software. My brain doesn't work at that time. But some people are evening people. They love to do work in that. Knowing your energy cycles are really important, because then maybe you can manage, arrange, prioritize your work so it will match your energy cycles. we are all entrepreneurs, and I'm sure that we all work until late night. So what about late night? What is the best time for you to do in late night? For me, it would be relaxing, thinking, dreaming, and that's a necessity. You have to do that. And the worst time for me to, again, read or learn because my eyes are burning by that time. But how about you? You could have the best time for you could be learning at that time. But just become aware of it. And, you know, since you can't always control when you do certain tasks, the best time managers are tuned in to what activities actually fuel their energy when it's flagging. Sometimes change of pace is something you need to boost your energy. Don't know, if you have been concentrating for hours and your brain needs a break, you just get up and do something that involves your muscles. Give your brain a rest. Change of activity may help. So, question for you, what are your energy cycles? What are the best times? What are the most active times for you in a day? And also, if you have any questions about it, please type it in.
So what if you don't have an energy cycle? Like if you're neither a morning person or a night person?
You are a lucky person because then you can keep your energy going all day.
Okay. Or not so lucky because you have no energy. Like me.
Well, yeah, well, no. Then you have to find a way to start boosting your energy time to time during the day so that you'll keep it up.
Right. Okay. So exercise and eating healthy, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
So let's see. How do you recharge your energy? I have some suggestions here. Changing my activity recharges my energy. Drinking a glass of water or, you know, drinking soda or tea, coffee, something, no alcohol. Okay. Exercising boosts my energy a lot. Stretching really is good for people who are confined in office and can't get out and go to gym whenever they want to. That may change, and that will recharge your energy because it creates your blood circulating. Playing some music, you know, that will help you. Or listening to some music. You know, when I notice when I walk and my music is high beat, I'm walking faster. So it's really recharging my energy. How about taking a cat nap? You know, the 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Lucky are the people who can do that. Because I can't. If I sleep in the middle of the day, I will sleep till next morning. But that helps some people, yeah. And how about eating some high energy snack or protein bars that may recharge you? You know, coffee really doesn't recharge you. Coffee recharges you for 3 seconds, and after that, it brings you down. How about going for a walk? A lot of people go for a walk at lunchtime, and that really helps them recharge their energy. Another thing that really helps me going is visioning my dreams. When I'm really tired and I don't want to do this mundane task, I keep thinking, well, what am I doing this for? When then I look at my dream, I envision there, that mundane task is no longer a mundane task. It's something that helps me get closer to my vision. And reviewing your goals also will bring you back and center you to the path you want to be on. Another thing I do, I look at photos of people that I love, and that recharges my energy because at the end of the day, what's life if we don't have people that we love? So here's a question. Do you know what boosts your energy?
Are there any specific things anybody's doing that could help the rest of us? Exercise, Chris is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I do like going for a walk, but it's too cold out here. Chris also said meditation. Yeah, meditation also helps me as well.
Yeah. So if you haven't noticed what boosts your energy, maybe after this webinar, you'll start looking at it and see what it is. And then when you know it, you can use it actually to boost your energy. Here is a bonus. This bonus, you will get the bonus if everybody on this call, on this webinar, says yes, types yes. I want to make sure that you guys are not asleep.
I'm sure they're not asleep while we're waiting. Oh, quite a few yeses are coming out.
All right.
But there are two other comments about the energy boost. One was visiting with friends, and the other one was drinking a smoothie or a green juice.
Oh, yes. All right. Wonderful. Thank you.
And a lot of yeses.
All right. Great. Okay, listen. Here is your bonus. Prioritize your work. Look, now you know what's working for you. You know what's not working for you. You know what your preferences are, your energy fluctuations are, how to boost it. You have no reason not to prioritize your work. But when you want to prioritize your work, this is what I suggest. Write down top 10 things in these categories that we're going to go through. First, make a list of top 10 tasks that you need to do to generate revenue. If you're a business owner, making money is not the goal. Making money is the only thing you're living for right now. And when you make the money that you wanted to, then you can do other things as well. But write down top 10 tasks that you need to complete to generate revenue. How about tasks that you can delegate? These are the tasks that you don't have to do it, but you're doing it right now. And it's important that you can delegate to somebody else. Write it down so you know about it. Write 10 things that consume your time like crazy. For me is checking my email. It's like so many emails I have to look at. That's my time-consuming task, one of them. Another one is the task that you love, love, love to do. And it's so important to know because we're going to use those tasks to refuel our energy. And during the day, when we feel down or the energy slacking, you go pick up one of the things that you love to do, and your energy will be up. Time-wasting tasks are the most important one. How many of you actually waste your time on your computer? When you have 10 or 15 minutes between things that have happened, how many of you get on the web surfing web? Those are one of the time-wasting tasks. Just write them down and become aware of it. So, the question is, where are you spending most of your time? And are you in the zone? And the zone is where you are the most productive. And there are 4 different zones. The first zone that most of us are, I don't know if it's most of the time or some of the time, it's distraction. It's the zone that we're doing things that is not urgent and not important. There are some examples, like phone calls. Friends call you right in the middle of business hours. It's not important, not urgent, unless they're going to hospital and they need your help. So if that's not it, cut that conversation short, because if not, then you're in the zone of being distracted. Surfing the web, and remember you wrote that list of time wasters. Every one of those tasks puts you in this zone of being distracted. Do you know what your distractions are? Just jot it down for me. The next zone that you could be is delusion. Delusion is this: I did not make my sales calls that I had to because whatever, and I will do it tomorrow. No, you won't, because you have more work to do tomorrow. So don't put yourself in that zone. The things that you're doing that seem urgent and they're not important. Look, not important is opposite of urgent. So when things occur that look like they're urgent, make sure you look at it. It's some phone calls, and then some emails, and then it's some reports that you look because somebody put it on your desk, and some meetings you go because somebody actually invited you. They're not urgent. They're not important. They can go on without you. So why are you there? So, and then you become delusional because you didn't do the things that you needed to do. How about, this is a zone that most of us operate, and it's not bad. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. We are tending to urgent and important matters. These are the crises. If you have clients and your clients are unhappy, they're calling you, something is not working, that's crisis, and you need to attend to that. That's a demand. There's a demand on you. Pressing problems, deadlines. You goofed up, you didn't manage your time, deadline is coming up, it's urgent, it's important, you're in this zone, great, be it. Projects, and again, some meetings could be urgent, important. And preparation. You have to prepare. And when you're preparing for something, it's your urgent, important. Now, where I really want you to be, and I hope you can be 70% of the time, is this zone. Not urgent, but important. This is when you're really controlling your life. This is where you are the boss. This is where you want to be. These are making a difference. The tasks that you make in this area, making a difference in your life, in your business. These are like setting goals, planning, systemizing what you're doing your marketing strategies, understanding your people, understanding your clients, planning for them. It's not urgent, but it's very important. Some of the very important things that you need to do is add to your skills. That is not urgent, but it's important. When you're doing those, you are in the zone. So really, our lives should be in these two zones and not there. These are the two zones we want to be. So here's a question for you. What % of time are you in the zone? The middle red one.
I'll start off with myself. Unfortunately, I think I'm not as much as I should be. I'm spending more time in the other places than in the zone.
Yeah. And this zone is when you're doing preparation, prevention, value clarification, planning, recreation, and empowering yourself or others. Mm-hmm. That's where you are.
Chris is saying he is 30% of the time he's in the zone.
Very good.
Any other answers coming in through? Anybody else wanna speak up?
Well, okay. If it's very small percentage you don't want to talk about it, I'm going to tell you what skills you need to increase this percentage.
Celeste is saying it depends on the day.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So look at average. Look at average and see what it is. So here we go. To be able to stay in the zone longer time is that you need 4 important skills. And these skills are 1, analysis skills. 2 is planning. 3, delegation. And most importantly, self-management. Let's go look at analysis. What does this mean? Analysis means that you spend your time doing the work, tasks that are key to your success. Please, it's like when you're going shopping, when you want to buy something, you ask yourself, do I need this or do I want it? And if you wanted to save money, you just get the ones you need. Now, anything you're doing, ask yourself, is this thing that I'm doing key to my success or it's not? Or is this going to be a foundation for another thing that I have to do that would take me closer to my success? And if not, just don't do it. Please, please, only work on the things that only you can do it. If not, just write it down and say, here are the tasks that can be effectively done by me only. Then you see the other tasks that you can delegate to others. And don't sell yourself short. If you're a person that your hourly rate is $50, $60, $100, don't do a $10 tasks because you are selling yourself short. Analyze your projects, whatever you want to do, make it into smaller tasks so that you can overcome the little ones. When you look at a project as a whole, it's so big that we procrastinate. We put it on the shelf. It's so overwhelming. But we will put it in a little task. We put timelines on it. Then we'll see that it's doable and we can do it and progress and see the progress. Every time we see the progress, we have more energy to do more. Here is the secret. Organize your work in 4 piles. It's called 4 Ds. D as a dog. Do it, delegate it, defer it, dump it. Do it, delegate it, defer it, or dump it. Do you like that? Great. So let's go to planning stage. What I mean by planning is that whatever you want to do, you need to know in advance that you're going to be doing that so you can plan for it. You can put it in your calendar and follow it. You have to gather your information and then plan. Now, look at your daily activities. You want to keep your momentum going. You don't want to fill it up so much that you're overwhelmed and you never make the list. Those to-do lists, we never make it in one day. And then we don't feel good about ourselves. So make sure you're putting something in there that pushes you a little bit so the momentum is going for every day. And if you know what you're going to be doing, when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to wonder and waste time. Put your time, organize it, put it in a schedule so you never, ever, ever are in those 2 categories of not important. And there were not urgent and not important, and that the work tasks or things you do that appear urgent, but they're not important. Create time schedule for each period of time. Make sure you know where you're going to be in 1 month time, and then take that down to your weekly and daily. Allocate these specific times for the works you're doing and give yourself reserve as well. What I do, I color code my calendar daily basis. So when I'm looking in a month, I can see all the money-making activities. I can see all where I'm doing exercise or I'm taking care of myself. I can see where I am doing marketing. It really makes me look at and see where I'm spending my time, what percentage of my time is going where. When around my birthday, when I look at that month, most of time is about me because I'm scheduling all of my checkups with doctors. So that I know. So I'm planning my year knowing that that's what's going to happen in month of October. Minimizing meetings is so important. Really, really. I have been in so many meetings that it was just, being social. There is no agenda. There is no actions coming out of the meeting. They're not meeting. They're just chatting. How much time we are devoting to chatting. So plan for them and make sure you don't just say yes. Delegating. Oh, see this woman? That's my picture. So, wanted to scare you because it's coming. First of all, this is so important that you can delegate. Look, delegate all the tasks that can be done by others, that you don't have to be there. It's not in your skill level. Please do that. But the way you do it is that know who are you going to delegate what. Make sure they're trained and make sure that your instructions for those tasks are very clear by that person. It could be clear by you, but make sure that the other person is clear so that they can take it off of your hands. Then time to time, if the task you're giving them is more than a week, it takes 2 weeks for them to do, maybe in like a couple of days, you want to review, touch base with them, where they are and what they're doing. Maybe they need some help. Oh, here it is. Do not slip into the habit of delegating tasks and then doing it yourself. Because that's that double whammy on your time management. You've taken two people's time now. So don't do that. Have patience. Let the other person do it. If the other person is late, not doing it, well, you know the next time you won't delegate to them. But get used to delegating. And then comes the most important part. It's your self-management. This is where you can't manage time, but you can manage your desires and your thoughts and your actions and your choices you make in a given time. First of all, find out what your purpose is. Your purpose is the driving force behind managing your time and your actions, because that is your ultimate goal to get to. Have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, invent one. Write it down and go forward with it. Look, understand what's important for yourself. Once you know what's important, anything you're doing, you just keep asking is this important? Do I need to do this or not? So you prioritize. You cannot ever do everything that comes in your mind. So you need to be able to choose the work that you're doing. Measure your performance. When you have a purpose, when you have a goal, you have a plan, stop every month maybe, look back and say, oh, how did I do? That means when you're writing your goals or your tasks, they need to be SMART. And SMART is for specific and measurable and attainable and time-bound, so that you can measure your own performance. You can look back and see what you have done or not. Respect your time. Surround people that respect your time. And if they're not, just, avoid them. Avoid them. Let go of people who take your time in vain and they are sucking your energy away. Like, do not hang on to clients that consume too much time and they're not paying you enough. Just let go. And I want you to passionately resent having your time wasted. And that's what is going to really save you. And how tough are you with those who undervalue your time? Are you giving in? Or are you saying, no, I don't have time now, come back tomorrow or this afternoon or whatever? And are you yourself practicing absolute punctuality? Look, if you're not punctual, how can you even expect anybody else to be punctual with you? Sorry, I'm getting too excited about this. If my voice is very high, I'm bringing it down.
That's okay. Just a time check though, Marie. We got 5 minutes.
Oh, we do. Okay. So I'm just going to say that these are the questions you need to think about, and we're going to go over. Let's talk about the time vampires very fast. Here they are. They come in and say, do you have a minute? And you say yes. No, you say no, I don't have a minute. Mr. and Mrs. Meeting, they can't do anything without meetings. Say no to those meetings. Mr. and Mrs. Trivial, they are the people, everything is important for them. Have them actually rated. And emotional crisis, everything. These people are everything is emotional crisis. They don't want your answers. They want your pity. They want your time. Let it go. Here is how you do it. Avoid interruptions. Hide. Don't pick up the phone. You're not brain surgeon. It's okay. Regular checking your text and email. And set a timer. Every time you're on the phone and 3 minutes passes, let that bomb go up. Be busy and be very, very visibly busy. I want to go, and we talk about blocking your time. And make sure you know what you're doing tomorrow. And important to polish your skills. Let me go in here. Look, your most valuable asset is your time, because that's what you invest into, what is going to make you successful. So let's say someone is willing to pay you $200 per hour for your skills, knowledge, and experience. This is how much you're making $400,000 a year. But most importantly, every 3 minutes of your life is $10. So here's what I want you to do. Go to bank and get about $300, crisp new $10 bills, put it in your office. And every time you're on the phone and you're not generating money or you're not going towards your goal and 3 minutes passes, I want you to put that $10 in the trash. And if you are texting and it takes more than 3 minutes and it's not about your goal, take another $10, put it in trash. When you're in surfing, in Meetup, in Facebook, and here and that, and that's not adding to you, 3 minutes more, another $10 goes into the trash. If you're playing games, hey, I know you do, and 3 minutes passes, $10 in the trash. If you're enjoying a coffee with your friend and it's taking too long and it's not adding to you, 3 minutes, $10 in the trash. Now, at the end of the day, look and say, how much money did you throw away? That's going to help you. Here's my last words. If you get up 1 hour earlier in the morning and do the most important work you have to do, at the end of the year, you have added 200 hours value to your business, to your life. And if you're a $200 person, then it's for $40,000 you have created. What about one more task? At the end of the day, before you stop work, do one more task, one more email. And at the end of the year, you have accomplished how much? 200 extra tasks. And that's important. If you just remember these two things from today, I am happy. There you go. Can you please, right after this webinar, write down 5 things that you have learned today? It's important because if you don't, you'll forget it. And I really want to think that I have made a difference in you, in your life. Now, your feedback is very important for me. We will send you a feedback form. I'd like you to actually fill it up and send it back to me. Here it is, marie@mgcoaching.com. And when you do that, I'll say thank you, and I will send a workbook for you that you can use and go back to this webinar as it's being recorded and actually do all those exercises in a time that you can take some time doing that. Here you go, Rehan.
Okay, so what we will do is right after the, well, not right after the webinar, it takes about 24 hours to make sure the recording was done properly. And if the recording is done properly, then I will send you the link to the recording as well as the feedback form. If you could please complete the feedback form and send it back to Marie, as she just mentioned, so she will send you a workbook, and of course that will accompany you with the recording of this webinar. In the meantime, please feel free to attend our upcoming webinars. You can go to the Small Business Center. Notice that there is no E in the end, so it's CENTR.com to attend our future upcoming webinars. And if you're not already a member of our LinkedIn group, please become a member of our LinkedIn group. We have over 12,000 members there with some very, very good discussions. And of course, you can follow us on our Facebook and on our Twitter accounts. Go ahead, Marie, if there are any questions, or do you want to say something before the questions?
Well, you guys have been great, and when I needed you to respond, you did, and thank you so much. That gave me a lot of energy. You can always be in touch with me at marie@mgcoaching.com. There is nothing ties you for that. Just send me questions. I will answer you, or if you wanted to have a chat with me, send me email, and I'll send you my phone number. So awesome. That's it. And I actually, Rayan, I want to do more webinars as well.
Okay.
Because it was wonderful. It's a great experience for me. I hope this was good. I hope you had something's changed in your mind and you had aha moments that it's going to really help you on your time management.
Quite a few for me. Quite a few aha moments and quite a few things that I need to actually look back into my own business and my own life and prioritize it correctly, so I'm not wasting as much time. And the thank yous that are coming through, I know that the attendees have actually found the webinar quite helpful as well. Are there any questions? I know we have run out of time, but if there are any questions for the next few minutes, I'm sure Marie would be happy to.
Oh yeah, I'll stay. You want me? I have another half an hour if you.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing any questions coming in, but if there are any questions, feel free to ask away. If not, webinar is officially over. If anybody needs to leave and get back to work, we understand. I'll just wait a few more seconds to see if there are any questions coming in. As I said, Marie, there are a few thank yous coming in, so thank you for the great webinar. I think people really enjoyed that.
And you know, when after a webinar, people are intensely listening and participating, at the end the questions are not showing up because they're in the zone of listening.
Sure.
And after the coming days, if the question comes up or you wanted some kind of guidance to do whatever you wanted to do about time management, just feel free to contact me and we will take it from there.
Thank you for that very generous offer. I hope everybody got that. So feel free to contact Marie and she will answer any of your questions that you have. So Celeste says, it's true, these things takes time, take some thought. So thank you. So Celeste is agreeing with you. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. Thank you everybody for attending our webinar today. And as Marie said, hopefully it was useful for you. Any last words from you, Marie?
Thank you so much. And I hope that we will be together again in something else interesting. If there are other subjects that you like to learn more about, I'm sure Rayhan will be open, and I'm open for your suggestions. I can put webinars together for you, and then we'll meet again. How about that?
That sounds great.
And thank you very much, Small Business Center. I'm privileged to be part of this group and have the opportunity to contribute and be contributed to.
Yes, thank you.
Rayhan.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your time today and for your great knowledge and skills today. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you on our next webinar. Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.